What's going on, guys? It's your boy CMB. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and let's get into this one really quickly. Now, guys, isn't it amazing how quickly things change in the sport of boxing? Just a few weeks ago, we were talking about the biggest fight in boxing at the welterweight division, Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol the True Spence Jr. Then we had an anvil drop on our head when Terrence Bud Crawford decided to go another route. He took a fight with BOK Prime against David Avanesian. That fight is scheduled for December the 10th in Omaha, Nebraska. Now, after that happened, a lot of people were saying that, Bud was ducking. Some people were thinking that it was the PBC who, didn't really want the fight to go through. And, somewhere in the middle there's the truth, of course. So everybody was wondering, well, if Errol is not facing Bud, who is he going to face next? Is he going to move up to 154? Is he going to fight Jaron Bruce Ennis? Is he going to fight Stanionis, who's been kind of waiting in the wings to get the shot at the WBA title? And lo and behold, Mauricio Suleiman, who is the WBC president, drops a bomb on us when he says that Keith Thurman is the WBC mandatory, and that fight's going to take precedent over those other two, the IBF and the WBA mandatories. So Errol Spence Jr. announced on his Twitter that he had a big announcement coming up soon. And I guess it's the worst kept secret because it's being reported that he is facing off against Keith one-time Thurman December the 17th at the AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. That's what's being reported right now. We're just waiting on the announcement by Errol the True Spence Jr. But hold up, guys. Didn't Errol Spence Jr. say that he would not give Keith one-time Thurman an opportunity? He did not want to fight Keith Thurman. He said this was never going to happen. Well, like I said before in a previous video, never say never, because apparently this is the fight that's happening. And I think it's a good fight. I always thought, even though he didn't, he felt like he was swerved by Keith Thurman. When Keith Thurman was the man at 147, he was the unified champion at the time, WBA, WBC titles, and Errol had won the IBF from Kell Brook, and he wanted that smoke with Keith Thurman, and Keith Thurman wouldn't really give him that opportunity. I think Keith Thurman was looking at Errol as possibly his arch nemesis. I think he knew that would be one of his hardest fights, and I think he kind of wanted to put that fight off. But you guys know Keith Thurman got injured. He had been out of the ring for a while. He came back, lost his WBA title to Manny Pacquiao back in 2019. Now, he was stripped of the WBC due to inactivity, but he was promised a shot at the WBC when he did get well. So I'm thinking this is, his shot that he was promised for a shot at the WBC title. And I think that's why they were pushing for this fight. And a lot of people are saying, well, why was this fight so easy to make? And it took forever with the Terrence Crawford fight. They were negotiating for months on end, and nothing ever came to fruition. Well, one of the reasons is probably because it's an in-house fight. They both fight on the PBC. You guys know Terrence Crawford is a free agent, and I think business-wise, Al Heyman and the PBC wanted this fight over the Terrence Bud Crawford fight. I think, they didn't want to have to, they didn't want to have to share in the revenue, basically. They wanted to keep everything in-house. Now, whether or not Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Bud Crawford takes place at a later date, I'm sure it's probably going to happen sometime next year. We heard Errol the True Spence, we heard Floyd Money Mayweather say that this fight's going to happen on down the line. I'm taking him at his word for it. The fight's going to happen on down the line. But right now, I think this is the fight that they wanted. Keith Thurman did say if this Crawford fight didn't take place, he was up next, and he was absolutely right. Like I said, we're just waiting on Errol Spence Jr. to make the announcement. Now, I think this is a good fight. This is the fight that I wanted to see. We didn't get Terrence Bud Crawford fight. I thought, Jerron Boots Ennis and Stanionis, they're good fighters, but people don't really know who they are as opposed to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was a former unified champion at 147, bona fide superstar boxer. He only has one loss to Manny Pacquiao. He's 30-1, and I think he's going to bring. I think Errol Spence Jr. will bring out the best in Keith Thurman because I do hear a lot of people say, "Well, Keith Thurman's washed. Errol's probably going to steamroll him." I beg to differ. I think Keith Thurman is a great boxer, and I think getting a fight like this is going to bring the best out in him, and I think it's going to be a pretty good fight. I do lean towards Errol winning the fight because Errol's been a lot more active, but I think Keith Thurman is game, and I don't think Errol's been in the ring with a fighter of this ilk, a mover, a boxer puncher, kind of in the same, line as a Terrence Crawford. He's never been in the ring with guys like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how well Errol Spence deals with this type of style. And I just think it's a damn good fight. I think people will pay for this fight. Of course, it's probably going to be on pay-per-view. And it's a pay-per-view worthy fight in my opinion. But guys, this is what's happening right now. So we'll have both of these guys, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. fighting in December. I guess we can contrast and compare how well they do against both of their opponents. And then, I think a lot of people will make an assessment from there who wins the fight between these two when the fight actually takes place. So you guys tell me what you think about this. Errol Spence Jr. going to fight Keith one-time Thurman when he said he wouldn't. But I think he's really been forced into this fight, and I don't think he was ready to move up yet. I think he wants to smoke with Terrence Bud Crawford because you guys know that Errol Spence Jr. big dream was to be undisputed before he went up to 154, and I don't think he's willing to let that go just yet. It's something that he's been working for, something that he's been shooting for, and if he has to go through Keith one-time Thurman to get there, so be it. Let the chips fall where they may. So you guys let me know what you think about this in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.